I speak now as one who has walked through the corridors of the mind and found the throne of the infinite. Listen, for there is a silence deeper than night, and within that silence, a voice. It is not far from you. It is nearer than your breathing, closer than your hands or feet. It whispers to the pulse of your own heart. Be still and know that I am God. When I first discovered this inner voice, I saw that the universe itself is a great word made flesh. The galaxies are syllables of eternal utterance, and every soul is a sentence in the poem of creation. By the word of the Lord were the heavens made, declares the psalmist, and that word is still speaking through you. For every thought you think, every word you speak, becomes a seed cast into the rich soil of the subconscious, and the law of that soil is to reproduce after its kind. This is the law of the word. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18 verse 21. The tongue is not merely the organ of speech. It is a creative edge of consciousness. When you speak with feeling, you decree. When you affirm with vision, you build. Your words are blueprints drawn in the invisible, and the subconscious mind is the master builder that brings a blueprint into form. I have seen men rise from poverty to abundance by changing their inner vocabulary. I have seen women healed of affliction by exchanging words of fear for words of life. For the subconscious mind is like a patient, tireless gardener. Whatever seed you drop into its earth, it tends with impartial care, thistle or rose, shadow or light. It does not argue. It obeys. It is written, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And I tell you now, as a man speaks in his heart, so becomes his world. Pause and feel this truth. Every word you utter in the privacy of your thought is a command to the unseen. Every complaint is a curse. Every blessing a benediction upon your path. You are the high priest of your own inner temple. Your subconscious is the holy of holies, and the altar is built of silent faith. When you speak, speak as one who knows that the infinite intelligence hears and answers. The word is not sound alone. It is vibration impregnated with belief. The tone of conviction sends ripples through the sea of mind, and soon the outer world rearranges itself to mirror your decree. Once a man came to me, a merchant whose business had sunk beneath debt and despair. He said, "Doctor, I have prayed, I have worked, I have done all I can, yet nothing moves." I listened, and then I asked, "What words do you repeat to yourself?" He sighed, "I keep saying, I am finished, nothing can save me." I smiled gently. "Then you have been praying for ruin, and your prayer is answered. Change your decree." He looked astonished. Together we wrote a new statement. Infinite intelligence governs my affairs. Success flows to me with divine order. He repeated it daily, not mechanically, but with deep feeling. He imagined his store filled again with customers, the hum of activity returning. Within 3 months, creditors became allies, new contract arrived, and the same man who had spoken defeat now spoke prosperity. And it was so. For the subconscious obeys the voice of feeling. Feeling is the carrier wave that sends your words into manifestation. You may speak lofty affirmations, but if your heart trembles with fear, you plant 2 seeds, one of faith, one of doubt, and the soil will produce after its stronger kind. Therefore guard your emotion as you would guard a royal decree. Jesus spoke in the same law when he said, "By thy words thou art justified, and by thy words thou art condemned." He meant that the tone and conviction of your inner speech pronounce the verdict of your experience. No external judge sits in the heavens weighing your fate. The law itself, written in your own mind, fulfills your decree. I say to you now, speak to silence. Do not shout at the storm of circumstance. Enter the still chamber of your soul, and in that quiet, issue your royal command. Say to your heart, peace, be still. Say to your body, every cell of my body is under divine order now. Say to your path, everything I touch prospers. Say to your mind, I am divinely guided in all I do. And the silence will answer, for the silence is alive. Modern science calls this interplay the dialogue between the conscious and the subconscious, or between cortical command and autonomic response. The psychologist sees suggestion and response. The mystic sees prayer and answer. They are one law seen through 2 lenses. Even a placebo, when a man believes a simple tablet will heal him, reveals the same mystery. It is the word of belief that heals, not the medicine itself. Faith is a creative agent hidden behind all remedies. The ancient builders of cathedrals carved their stones by faith in a pattern unseen by their eyes but clear in their minds. So must you carve the stones of your destiny. Your imagination sketches the blueprint. Your words set the cornerstone. Your feeling seals it in living mortar. Each thought, each spoken word, is a brick in the temple of your tomorrow. If you would change the building, change the design, rewrite the script. For the subconscious mind is the stage on which every script you write will be acted out in the theater of life. The roles will appear. The props will materialize. The events will unfold precisely as written in the silent language of your conviction. Therefore, examine the script of your inner dialogue tonight. Erase the lines of fear, self-pity, resentment. Write instead the luminous words of faith and love. Say within yourself, "My word is my seed. My seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance." And as you speak, see it. For visualization and affirmation are the two wings of creation, the word and the image joined in holy matrimony. When you see what you say and feel what you see, the subconscious accepts the impression as fact. It does not wait for tomorrow. It begins the building now. There is a sacred moment each day when this plan becomes most powerful, the twilight between wakefulness and sleep. In that drowsy state, the watchman of reason grows gentle, and the gates of subconscious swing open. There you may sow your seed without resistance. Whisper your decree as you drift toward rest. Do not struggle to believe. Simply feel that it is so. The seed will take root in the darkness, and in due season, the harvest will appear in light. I recall a woman who lay ill for many years. Her doctors had spoken the word incurable, and her subconscious, obedient servant carried out that order. When she came to me, I asked her to change the command. Each night before sleep she whispered, "Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. The life of God flows through me now. I am whole." She did not shout it. She breathed it tenderly, as though singing to a child. Within weeks her strength returned. Her face shone, and physicians marveled. But I knew she had spoken to the silence, and the silence had answered. This is not superstition. It is the psychology of creation. The subconscious governs heartbeat, digestion, repair of tissue. It also governs the outer circumstances that correspond to your inner tone. You are never a victim of chance. You are a sculptor of form. The hammer is your word. The chisel your feeling. The marble the substance of mind. Therefore tonight, as the world grows quiet and the stars kindle their silent fires, I invite you to an act more powerful than prayer uttered in haste. Take up the pen of your own speech and rewrite your script. Say within, "This day I erase all decrees of limitation. I now inscribe new lines of abundance, health, and peace." My subconscious mind joyfully accepts this new pattern and reproduces it faithfully. Feel it, and the law will perform the rest. For the word never returns void. It prospers in the thing whereto you send it. And when the morning comes, you shall awaken to the echo of your decree taking shape in the realm of form. But tonight, before the dream gate closes, speak to the silence, and it will answer. Let that be your first ritual of awakening. You are the author. Your life is a manuscript. The infinite is a publisher that never rejects a masterpiece spoken in faith. The night deepens. The stars listen. All creation leans toward the one who dares to speak with awareness. For the universe is not deaf. It waits upon your decree. I have told you that words are seeds. Now feel this truth with the urgency of dawn. Every idle word is a seed sown in living soil. The soil does not judge the seed. It multiplies it. So many wander through life scattering the thorns of complaint, then wonder why their path bleeds. But the wise gardener learns to pause before he speaks, to weigh each phrase as if it were a coin of gold. He knows that speech is destiny articulated. When the heart and the tongue agree, the creative current flows unhindered. That current is the power that Jesus called faith. The same current that moved across the waters in Genesis when the voice said, "Let there be light." That command still vibrates through you. Every time you say, "Let there be," strength, peace, supply. You repeat the first morning of creation. Now awaken to the dignity of that power. You are not a beggar at the door of heaven. You are the door through which heaven enters form. Your subconscious waits as an architect awaits instructions. Give it lines of order, and it will raise a temple of order. Give it lines of fear, and it will construct confusion with flawless precision. For the law is impartial. The builder is faithful even to the foolish plan. Therefore, revise your design with holy urgency. Listen, there is a second law hidden within the first. It is the law of the double imprint. A word without an image is a seed without light. An image without a word is a vision without root. But when the two unite, creation quickens. This marriage of speech and seeing is the secret workshop of miracles. Close your eyes now. Say within, I am divinely guided in all I do. Then picture yourself moving through the day under a soft radiance of wisdom. Feel the calm assurance that every step is right. Hold it until the picture and the word become one pulse. That pulse is creation. Do you see how emotion carries a message? Feeling is a sacred fire beneath the altar of affirmation. Without warmth, the offering lies cold. With warmth, it rises as living incense. When you affirm health with gratitude already glowing in your chest, you call forth the pattern of wholeness written within every cell. When you speak prosperity with joy, you tune your mind to the frequency where ideas and opportunities gather. One evening, a young musician came to me, despairing that no one heard her art. I practice, she said, but the world is deaf. I told her, then speak to the silence. She began each night to whisper before sleep. Divine order opens the right doors for my music. My gift blesses many. She felt the joy of audiences unseen, the applause of fulfillment already given. Within months, an invitation arrived that carried her across oceans. Her melodies found the very ears she had imagined. The outer world was only the echo of her inner decree. So let us come to that holy margin between waking and sleep, the threshold where all seeds are planted. The conscious mind grows quiet. The watchman lays down his spear. The gate of the garden opens. Now is the hour of the whisper method. As you lie upon your bed, turn your thought gently toward the good you desire. Do not strive, do not analyze. Whisper your decree in a tone of love, as though speaking to a beloved friend. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. My word is my seed is my reality. Let the words float upon the rhythm of your breathing. Feel them sink into the depths like pearls into the sea. The subconscious receives them as law, begins its hidden engineering. In the stillness of the night, unseen hands are already arranging the pattern of your tomorrow. Do not measure by appearances. The seed germinates in darkness. Trust the law, rest in gratitude. Say softly, thank you, Father, that it is done, and sleep as one who has already received. For when you wake, the invisible builder will have advanced the design another step, and the day will rise to meet your word. Now, before this night closes around you, decide what you shall whisper to the silence. Choose words that lift, images that heal, feelings that glow. You are the author of a new chapter. The ink is faith. The parchment is the infinite mind. Speak gently, but speak firmly. The universe listens for your voice. Tonight, as you drift toward rest, repeat your chosen decree until the words melt into peace. Let the final sound of your day be the sound of creation itself, a whisper that moves mountains in silence. Morning breaks over the edges of the world. The same sun that watched you whisper your decree through the night now climbs to bless it with form. Dawn is not merely light upon the sky. It is light upon the mind. Consciousness awakening to its own decree. I end that first golden breath between sleep and movement. The world is still pliable. The mind has not yet remembered its burdens. The heart has not yet armed itself with haste. Here, in this fragile hush, the word is again seed. What you speak now shapes the clay of the coming day. I rise and stand before the open window of the soul. The air itself seems to wait for instruction. And I remember, let there be light. Those were not words of observation. They were words of origination. The same authority flows through every soul that knows its source. The law of the word never sleeps. It is faithful in night and creative in dawn. Each phrase you release this morning is a decree of governance to your inner kingdom. If you say, I am weary, the body obeys. If you say, I am renewed, vitality flows like rivers released from winter. Therefore, guard the gates of your speech at sunrise as priests guard the temple fire. The psalmist sang, This is a day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Do you hear the command hidden within the praise? It is not the sun that makes a day divine, but the consciousness that receives it as divine. Rejoicing is creative recognition. Gladness is magnetism that draws like unto itself. Now I tell you the secret of the morning creation ritual. When the eyes first open, before the mind begins its old rehearsals, speak the new pattern quickly, softly, joyfully. As a king issues a day's decree to his realm, whisper or speak aloud if you wish. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. Everything I touch prospers. I am divinely guided in all I do. Then pause and see these words fulfilled. Feel your body radiant with harmony. See your tasks already prospering. Feel guidance like sunlight at your shoulders. This is the sacred coupling of word and image, the invisible marriage that begets visible fruit. A man once told me he woke each morning with dread. His first words were complaints. Another hard day. And so his days obeyed him faithfully. I asked him to change the liturgy of his dawn. He began instead with, Divine order governs this day. Everything unfolds in perfect peace. Within weeks his work grew smooth, his heart lighter, his outer tasks transformed. The law had not changed, only his morning decree. The subconscious receives each new sunrise as a fresh page. What you inscribe upon it before the noise of the world intrudes becomes a headline of your experience. If you must remember one thing, remember this. The first words upon waking are the architect's instructions for the day. So rise gently. Before you look at a screen, before you taste bread or coffee, turn inward and speak the pattern you wish to live. Feel it, believe it, and watch the invisible craftsman go to work. Even the scientists now trace the same mystery in another tongue. They speak of neuroplasticity, of morning hormones that prime the brain for suggestion. They have discovered what the mystics practiced for millennia, that the first thoughts after waking carve grooves of expectation, and expectation calls events from the unseen. Thus, the spiritual and the scientific bow to the same law. See the morning as a river newly born from night. You stand upon its bank with the power to guide its current. Your words are oars, your feelings are the wind. Steer with purpose, or it will drift by the habits of yesterday. Say, this river flows through field of abundance. Its waters bring healing to all who drink. Today I walk in divine appointment. Let these affirmations become music in your pulse. Repeat them until they sing themselves. Soon you will notice that people, events, and opportunities appear as if summoned, for they are summoned by the tone of your consciousness. Remember the merchant who rebuilt his fortune by new decrees. Remember the woman who healed her body by whispering life into her cells. They did not stop at night. They continued at dawn. Night plants the seed. Morning waters it with speech and expectation. Together they form the daily rhythm of creation. Ebb and flow. Inhale and exhale. Word and response. If ever you doubt, look at the garden. No seed rises without the sun. No word bears fruit without the warmth of conscious attention. You are that warmth. You are the sun of your own field. Now breathe deeply, as if drawing the breath of God into your chest. Feel the pulse of creation beating with your own. Say, quietly, I awaken to divine intelligence acting through me now. The ideas I need come easily and clearly. My world listens to the music of my faith. Let gratitude follow the words like fragrance following bloom. For gratitude seals a decree. It tells the mind the work is already accomplished. And as you move into the tasks of the day, carry the awareness that you are walking through a field of answered words. The silence you spoke to in the night now speaks through circumstances, through meetings, through moments of quiet knowing. Listen for it. Answer it with thankfulness. Each exchange deepens a harmony between the seen and the unseen. When you learn to greet the morning as a continuation of your nightly creation, you will discover that no day begins by accident and none can end in failure. For the one who commands a first light already holds a harvest in hand. Tomorrow, before a single thought of duty or fear arises, pause and speak your decree. Let your first words become the sunrise within you. Say them with love, picture the fulfillment, and step into the day as a creator conscious of his power. There comes a moment in every pilgrimage when the traveler must clear the road of every unnecessary burden. Words are the stones you carry. Some gleam with faith, others are heavy with complaint. If you would walk lightly toward your promise, you must choose which to keep. So now the Spirit calls you to a cleansing, a fast not of food but of speech. 7 days, 7 mornings and evenings, a complete circle, mirroring the first week of creation. For 7 days the infinite fashioned light, sky, earth, seed, creature, and rest. For 7 days you shall fashion your inner world anew by the discipline of your tongue. The word fast. During these days, no phrase of fear shall pass your lips. No idle prophecy of lack shall leave your mouth. If such a thought arises, you will let it dissolve in silence and replace it with a sentence of truth. Say, infinite intelligence orders my steps. Divine love works through every event. I choose peace, therefore peace chooses me. Each correction is a stroke of the architect's pen upon the blueprint. Each silence is a stillness in which the new pattern sets. You'll be astonished how quickly the atmosphere around you changes. Conversations that once tempted you to argue will soften or vanish. People will mirror your calm. Opportunities will find the tone of your new vibration. For language is a climate of consciousness, and climate governs growth. The prophet wrote, "Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips." This is the essence of the fast. You are the watchman now. Guard the gate, not with anxiety, but with reverent joy. When you feel the old impulse to murmur or blame, smile and remember, I am the keeper of my creative fire. A woman once practiced this discipline after years of discord in her home. For 7 days she refused to repeat the word problem. Whenever her husband complained, she answered only, "Peace is established here." The first day felt strange. The second tested her patience. But by the fourth, the house itself grew quieter, as if relieved of its old vocabulary. By the seventh, harmony had returned. She did not force her family. She retuned the field by fasting from noise. Her silence spoke more loudly than argument. So let your 7 days become a temple of pure speech. If you cannot bless a situation, hold your peace until you can. Silence is not emptiness. It is the waiting room of power. Even the Christ was silent before Pilate. For truth needs no defense. It waits to be realized. During the fast, continue your morning ritual. Speak life at sunrise. Sow gratitude at dusk. Record each victory in a simple journal. The moments you caught a negative word before it escaped. The miracles that followed restraint. These will become your book of remembrance. Proof of the law at work. Notice also the effect upon the body. As words of tension diminish, so do the lines upon the face, the knots in the stomach, the weight upon the shoulders. Every organ listens to the conversation of the heart. When you fast from discord, the cells sing a new song. Science now observes that calm speech regulates the nervous system, that gratitude alters chemistry, that gentle tones lengthen the rhythm of the breath. Thus, what the mystic knows by revelation, the researcher confirms by measurement. 2 languages describing one truth. Speech shapes physiology. Faith reshapes destiny. At the midpoint of fast, take 1 evening to walk beneath the stars. Look upward and remember the first word that formed them. Whisper into the vastness. The same power that hung these lights guides my life with precision. Feel the correspondence between your breath and the breath of space. Realize that every star responds to the same command that beats within your pulse. Let there be. When temptation comes to speak in haste, pause and breathe the sacred name, the silent awareness of I am. In that pause lies a miracle. It breaks the chain of reaction and restores creation. You will find that patience is not weakness. It is a still strength that moves worlds. And when the 7th evening arrives, light a candle or simply close your eyes to the inner flame. Review the week. The word withheld, the blessing spoken, the peace expanded. Give thanks. Then proclaim, my mouth is a fountain of life. My words heal, uplift, and prosper. I have entered the rhythm of divine speech, and the law delights to fulfill it. Let that be your Sabbath of expression, your rest in the certainty that the new pattern is established. Remember, beloved builder realities, the journey is not from earth to heaven, but from noise to silence, from reaction to creation, from scattered syllables to the single, radiant word within. Each sentence you consecrate becomes a beam in the house of your future. So go now into the coming days with lips anointed by awareness. Speak little, mean much, feel deeply. Let kindness be the accent of your tongue. And when you have completed the circle of 7 days, you will sense a new clarity, as if the air itself listens differently when you speak. Beginning tomorrow, undertake 7 days of holy speech. Refuse all words of fear or limitation. Replace them with declarations of life, love, and order. Let your language become your prayer your atmosphere your world. Evening gathers once more, but it is not the darkness of ending. It is the deep blue of renewal. Every creation must pass through its night, so that it may rise again clothed in understanding. Now that the lips have learned restraint, the heart must learn release. For nothing hinders the power of the word more than the weight of unforgiven memory. You cannot speak freedom while chains rattle in the mind. You cannot decree abundance while resentment whispers scarcity. Therefore, the next temple to cleanse is the temple of the heart. Forgiveness is the key that opens its gates. When the Master taught, "Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven," he was not declaring a moral bargain. He was revealing a metaphysical law. The mind that condemns another holds the image of condemnation before its own mirror. The emotion you send forth is the vibration you live within. To release another is to free yourself from the echo of their shadow. Imagine now the garden of your subconscious. Along its borders grow plants both fragrant and thorned. Every bitterness is a weed that drinks the same water meant for your roses. You need not fight the weed. Simply withdraw your attention, bless it, and plant anew. Blessing is the sunlight of forgiveness. Sit quietly and recall anyone who stirs unrest within you. Perhaps one who wronged you. Perhaps your own past self. Bring the image before your inner eye as though holding a photograph in gentle hands. Say softly, I release you into the light of divine love. You owe me nothing. I owe you nothing. We are both expressions of one life seeking to know itself. Feel the weight lift, as if a door has opened and air rushes in. That is the breath of freedom. Do not mistake forgiveness for approval. It is not the condoning of error. It is a refusal to keep error alive by remembrance. Even Scripture records that God remembers sin no more. The Eternal forgets not by amnesia, but by perfect comprehension. Once truth is known, error has no meaning. When you practice this release, the subconscious clears its field. New seeds of health, prosperity, and joy find room to grow. The body responds first. Tension melts, breath deepens, sleep sweetens. Then the outer life follows. Obstacles dissolve. Relationships harmonize. The word gains power again because the channel is clean. A physician once told me of a patient who could not recover from a chronic ailment. Her medicine was correct, her habits moderate, yet progress halted. In conversation, she confessed an old grievance that she rehearsed daily. I asked her to perform a simple ritual each night for 7 evenings, to imagine the person before her and say, I forgive you and I set you free. She obeyed, though reluctantly. By the 5th night, she wept. By the 7th, she slept peacefully for the first time in years. Within a month, her health improved beyond expectation. She had loosed a knot that bound her vitality. So it is written, when ye stand praying, forgive if ye have aught against any. Prayer without forgiveness is like sunlight through a dirty window. The light is there, but the glass distorts it. Clean the pane, and the room floods with radiance. After forgiveness comes protection. For every new seed must be guarded until its roots are deep. Protection is not defense born of fear. It is a quiet confidence of knowing that love surrounds you as atmosphere surrounds the earth. Each morning and evening clothe yourself in light through decree. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. No false word or thought can enter the garden of my mind. Only that which blesses and uplifts may touch my life. Visualize a soft radiance encircling you, not as a wall, but as warmth. Those who meet you will feel it as kindness. Circumstances that approach you will harmonize with it by law of affinity. This is the spiritual physics of grace. If ever you sense discord, pause and reaffirm your atmosphere. Say, peace is established here. Say, only the power of good is real. The statement itself reorganizes the unseen currents. For the universe recognizes a tone of authority spoken without anger. Forgiveness and protection are twin pillars. One clears the past, the other guards the present. Together, they prepare the foundation for the future still unfolding. You cannot build a temple of light upon the debris of resentment, nor can you preserve its beauty without daily renewal of love. Therefore, let the evening of every day become your sacred audit. Ask yourself, whom have I yet to release? What thought of fear have I entertained? Write the answers not to condemn, but to cleanse. Then speak over them the benediction of finality. This is a race in the light. The past has no power here. Sleep will then become a holy act. For the heart will lie down unburdened. Dreams will grow luminous. Intuition will speak through symbols of peace. And when morning returns, your decrees will carry the resonance of a soul in harmony. Now the river flows clear from source to sea. The silence answers instantly, for nothing obstructs its echo. You will notice that even those who once resisted you now drift into agreement, not because you persuaded them, but because you have purified the tone that calls them. The wise learn that protection is maintained not by struggle, but by constant remembrance of oneness. Love is the armor that no blade can pierce, for it transforms every blade into a blossom before it strikes. Therefore repeat often, divine love fills my mind, my home, my world. It goes before me, making straight and joyous the way. I dwell in safety, for I dwell in God. Let these words become rhythm and respiration, until even your silence hums with their music. Tonight, release every shadowed memory through the act of blessing. Then, before sleep, speak your protection aloud. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Know that the gates of your inner kingdom are sealed in peace, and that every word you speak henceforth flows from a forgiven heart. And now the light widens. Forgiveness has swept the corridors of the heart, and protection stands like an invisible choir about you. The temple is ready for consecration. From this hour forward, you are not a solitary pilgrim. You are a note in the great harmony of divine speech. Your word joins the chorus of every awakened soul, and together you speak the new creation. Look out upon the world. It is the mirror of humanity's inner weather. Each thought, each whisper of faith or fear, rises like vapor and forms a climate of nations. But when even a few remember the law of the word, the sky begins to clear. A single decree of truth, uttered in love, is more powerful than the armies of anxiety. Therefore gather inwardly with all who hear these words across time and distance. See them not as strangers, but as flames of the same altar. Each breath a wind that feeds the sacred fire, each heart a lamp. Together we form the living cathedral of consciousness, the body of the word made manifest. Feel the pulse of that unity. It moves through the cities and deserts, through boardrooms and bedrooms, through every place where a soul pauses to remember God within. No distance divides spirit from spirit. When one declares peace, 10,000 are steadied. When one affirms abundance, the channels of supply widen for many. This is the mystery of group word power. Just as instruments in an orchestra amplify one another, our declarations harmonize to produce a greater vibration than any solitary tone could achieve. The subconscious of humanity, vast sea beneath the continents of mind, responds to these united currents. As we speak, we retune the collective dream. So let us speak together now, quietly yet irresistibly. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. Everything I touch prospers. I am divinely guided in all I do. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. My word is my seed. My seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Pause after each line. Feel its weight settle into invisible soil. Imagine multitudes around the globe repeating with you, some aloud, some in thought. A network of light forms, unseen yet undeniable, connecting heart to heart like constellations across a night sky. This is a kingdom within, revealed through fellowship, and the voice of silence answers, "It is done unto you as you believe." The response is not thunder but stillness, the steady assurance that creation has heard and agreed. You may sense a warmth spreading through your chest, a serenity deeper than breath. That is the evidence of correspondence between your inner word and outer law. Now the river of teaching returns to its source. In the beginning was a word. In the end, the word becomes flesh. You have learned that speech is not sound but consciousness clothed in tone. That imagination weds the image. That feeling gives it life. That forgiveness clears its path. That love guards its borders. And that unity multiplies its power. You have seen the law approved in the affairs of business, of healing, of daily need. You have traced its echo in science, in the placebo that bows to belief, in the cell that listens to intention. You have recognized its reflection in Scripture. Let there be light. By thy words thou art justified. And finally, the Word was made flesh. All rivers of revelation meet here, where silence and speech are one. For the true secret of the voice of God is this: He speaks most clearly through the word you speak with faith. When you pronounce good, you are the mouth of the infinite. When you forgive, you are the hand of grace. When you love, you are the pulse of the universe remembering itself. Therefore go forth as creators of atmosphere, architect of vibration, gardeners of thought. Let no idle phrase escape your lips, for each syllable is a seed that will surely bear after its kind. If you must speak, speak blessing. If you must think, think beauty. If you must act, act from the calm of certainty that God moves through you. See yourself walking into tomorrow clothed in radiance. Conversations become altars. Work becomes worship. Rest becomes renewal. Every encounter is an opportunity to pronounce truth again. Whisper to the silence, and it will answer with circumstance. Speak to the mountain, and it will realign with the geometry of your faith. Declare life, and life will rise to meet you. Now the final affirmation loop, to be carried beyond this reading, to be repeated until it becomes your very heartbeat. Divine wisdom guides my every decision. Infinite peace reigns in my home. Love flows through me to all beings. My path is straight. My steps are sure. My supply is endless. The word in me is the word of God, and it cannot return void. Breathe deeply and feel the resonance of those truths settle into the deep. In that silence between heartbeats lies the eternal yes of creation. Gather, in thought or in fellowship, with others who understand the sacred law of speech. Each dawn or dusk, join voices, whether in person or through shared intention, and decree aloud for 7 breaths. Divine order governs all creation. Divine love unites all hearts. Divine abundance flows to every need. And so it is. Feel the answering vibration move through the unseen network of life. Know that every word spoken in love strengthens the fabric of the world. Stand in the hush that follows. That hush is God's reply.